Hey everyone! So this week we're discussing adult books that could appeal to young adult readers. And this is a very difficult topic for me because most of the adult books that I read are totally not appropriate for young adult readers. I tend to read adult books when I'm tired of young adult books, and so I don't want them to be anything like young adult books. So I go to the opposite end of the spectrum and I read like erotica and historical romance and paranormal romance and all that crap. And none of them are really appropriate for any younger young adult readers. So I picked a handful of books that I can remember reading that I think are fitting for young adult readers. And the first one is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Now, this is actually one of my favorite books, and that's weird because it's not young adult, and normally I like adult books, but I just don't love them as much as YA. But this is the exception to that rule. I picked up a copy of The Night Circus last year at BEA, and I didn't read it for quite some time, and then I read it, and I was like, oh my gosh, why has this been on my shelf and I haven't read it? So the writing is a bit heavier. It's not a fast-paced book, which I think a lot of young adult readers will probably struggle with, but the writing is beautiful, the setting is amazing, and the characters are just awesome. And the characters, the main characters at least, are younger, and so I think that helps the appeal to YA readers. But like I said, it does take some getting into, and it's not a book that you can sit down and just read straight through, at least not in my opinion, but it's totally worth it in the end. Next up is very, very different than The Night Circus, and it's Beautiful Malice by Rebecca James. And I actually reviewed this on the blog a couple years ago, and it's like murder mystery, psychological thriller type thing, and the main character is 19 years old, and it is like a murder mystery, but it's not as, I guess, graphic as adult murder mysteries. This was actually pitched to me by the author, which is why I reviewed it, and she knew I was a young adult reader, and so she put it into better words than I could, but I just thought that the characters and the writing and the story were perfect for young adult readers. It's a short book, it's very fast-paced, and it's just kind of one that you don't see all these things coming. So I really like that one. And then last but not least, this is an author, not a book, but Meg Cabot. Her adult stuff is great for young adult readers. I would recommend the Heather Wells murder mystery series. And I say it's a murder mystery series, but there's so much more going on with the series than just these murder mysteries. And once again, it's a very non-graphic murder mystery type thing. And honestly, I have never laughed so much in a murder mystery as I have at the Heather Wells series. So Meg Cabot, pretty much any of her adult stuff is just hilarious. And while it is a little raunchier and has more romance than her young adult stuff, it's nothing that I think is inappropriate for younger young adult readers. So these are my suggestions if you want to try out some adult books that might appeal to young adult readers. If you have any adult books that you think would appeal to YA readers, let me know, because I'm not really good at discerning what's good for young adult readers. So give me your guys' opinion. Maybe I'll check some of them out. And sorry for not having a video last week. I was really sick, and so it was not a pretty sight. But yeah, I will see you guys next week. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week and weekend.